Welcome back to another episode, everybody. Sorry, all I'm lost in is that you've changed your shirt. I'm like, did you do that just for the second episode?
No, it's boiling in here because I've got 1,000 watt light that's not LED up here, and it's just boiling.
And it's not like it's 30 degrees out with humidity or anything. Anyways, my name's Emery Wolf. Joining me is
Nick Lamb
in his fresh new shirt, and we are just two camera guys, a show where we're going to talk about all things camera.
This was meant to be an undershirt. I don't normally. It's quite a V-neck style, but what can you do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? We're not the fashion police.
No.
Actually, funny thing about fashion policing, today, highlight of my job is I got to smear some cinnamon on one of our advisors at work, his face. That was so much fun.
How come cinnamon?
Yeah, because it looked like dirt.
Oh. So you were doing makeup before shoot.
Yeah. And that's all I had around. I'm like, cinnamon, this will work. Let's see.
Did it work?
Him in the face. Yeah, it did actually work really well. Nick, actually, we're talking about things camera. Let's get the elephant out of the room here. Yeah. You got that sign on the back, always something to do.
Yes.
You're done with Leroy.
So I am. Oh, I think I'm always still going to be a part of it in some way, mentally, but yeah, no longer part of Leroy and Leroy. No more Leroy behind the camera.
What can you tell us that sort of led up to it? I know it wasn't a decision that came easy for you. I know it wasn't like I quit, screw it type thing. So
no, it was good. It was fun. We'd been doing that since 2017, 2018, something like that. So it's been a long time. But it's weird because the more popular it kind of got, the more travel, the more involved, the more everything. And I think at a certain point, I was almost going to be starting to hold things back a little bit by not wanting to maybe travel as much, maybe not wanting to do as much, and just seemed to be the best way to go for things.
Yeah. I seen Nick, or Leroy, I should say, give you a bit of a send off there at all. Are you like, now that you're like retired, do you watch it? Do you watch it like an old hockey player and like, oh man, I wish I could strap the skates back on?
Well, no, there's certain things like it. So it's going to be a little bit different, and that's just how it is. So, there's a thing, you get 20 camera guys in a room or 20 directors of photography. There'll be 20 different ideas, 20 different opinions. So, yeah, I think I just have to watch it for a good laugh. And that's really what the bread and butter of it anyway. So,
yeah. So what's next for you? Do you think, have you thought about it much?
Well, still doing the same old, still shooting videos, still doing all the corporate stuff. So not going away from that, but a few different ideas. I'm not sure exactly which way to go. I'll still keep making my videos that I do, see what happens there. And then who knows? I'll probably start something else up pretty soon, would be my guess.
Yeah. Where do people find your videos? Because I know the passion thing you were doing was quite good.
Yeah, so that one, I think it's just Nick Lamb. Isn't that my YouTube channel?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's just under Nick Lamb. I
just watch it when you tell me to.
Yeah, I had a couple different names, and then I just thought, well, if it's good enough for Peter McKinnon, it's good enough for me. Just to use your name.
Yeah. One other idea we had briefly discussed about when this all came about was maybe using that book for finding your next big idea. I have it in the back room. I should have brought it out, but I forgot.
Oh yeah, well, that'll be good. We should go through that sometime.
Yeah, I think like actually doing it live might be interesting for both of us and for people watching, just sort of seeing what the book's about, and then B, sort of wondering, what goes through our minds sometimes, because I know mine can get pretty crazy once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So before we go into this AI thing you want to go into here, are so the micro journey into AI. Emery and I did the last show in person. It hasn't been released yet, but we've tried Adobe's podcast. So we got into Adobe's beta podcast, and it's wild. Just
wild.
what it doesn't really have any options, but it just makes the audio better. It's so strange.
Yeah, it cleaned up like a lot of the background noise, taking away like some of the like just when we're pausing or whatever. So like right there, it would have just cut that bit of like out. And
Yeah.
we literally did nothing. It just did it.
And then the craziest part is it turns it all into a transcript and you
Yeah.
can read it and edit it off of the text.
Yeah. When we tried that out, it wasn't quite
Yeah.
perfect, but I mean it got you 90% of the way there. So which is
Yeah.
actually probably like the moral of the story of everything we're about to do and talk about with AI. Like it'll get you 90% of the way there.
Yeah,
Like
true.
I know you've heard me say this and I've said it 100 times, but like 5 years ago, if you were to tell me that AI is going to start like replacing photography and some of the jobs that are done with it, I would have told you to screw off. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no way. It's not that close yet. And
Yeah.
now here we are, and my tune has changed like a complete 180. And
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
do owe me apology for telling me to screw off. That was very rude of you.
yeah. But yeah, and like I am gonna be, I guess, sorry, Nick. I'll say that first.
Thank you.
My apologies. But like now I'm like on that train. Like it's like
Yeah.
I can't believe what it's doing. I can't believe how good it is. And I'm like in 5 years from now, like for my job at work with the association, this drastically changes my job already right here now.
Really.
Like I've been using Chat GPT for social media posts. It's worked great. Read an article today about how like social media people are already getting cut because of it. Um, we'll see how long this stuff lasts though too.
Yeah.
Things sort of seem to go in trends with it, but and I also feel probably not like the most popular of opinion, but I don't think AI is really that creative. It's just like regurgitating the same stuff over again,
Yeah.
just in variations of it. So I think at some point in time we're going to run out of posts because AI just can't think of anything new.
Well, if
But
you're, yeah.
yeah, but I've been proven wrong before. Tell you that much.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the stuff with Photoshop. So what I thought I'd
Oh,
do
this
here
is what I'm
is
curious about because
share.
so full disclosure, I haven't really seen much of this other than how you can magically take people off of your phones. It's automatically doing a lot of these cutouts and stuff like that. But
Yeah, there's a few different things here too to go over. So like there's tons of articles showing this, the original over here, the after with the car added in a car cloud. Like that's pretty absurd that it can do that, doing the reflection of the car in the
cloud,
water as well.
okay,
Right?
let's be honest, that looks just silly.
Yeah, I mean there is a lot of that too with it. They're super pumped about this frame filling too.
Well, the frame, but those what are those bubbles in front of the dog there? Okay.
Yeah, it looked a little silly, but like this is
Okay.
incredible.
Well, go back to the first one. So this is the original photo?
Yeah, so just a single flower.
They took a photo of a flower.
Yep. And then it filled it with this entire scene after. Now, again, if you're pixel peeping,
yeah, that blend.
It doesn't really look right, but it's still incredible.
So if this just carried on, could you tell it get rid of the mountains, just do a field? Is that something you could tell it?
Yeah, like so we can kind of go through some of the variations in Photoshop with it. So, anyways, this is what they're showing you online, and yeah, it is kind of real example. So I thought I would show some.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
we should have talked about this ahead of time.
yeah, whatever. We'll get through it. This is the first one I kind of wanted to show, and just showing like how noisy this is.
Yeah,
this image.
I can even see that on the zoom, so that's kind of crazy.
The other thing I want to point out, so what I'm in right now is Photoshop. So all the generative AI stuff is in Photoshop beta. But in Photoshop now, right now, There's the AI denoise. So actually, let's just, that is kind of edited. That's fine. I was going to do some edits just for fun, but I'm just going to tap this denoise. It's going to go through its thing here. Now it's going to give me sort of a little example here when it catches up. So I don't know if you could see that, but I can
Yeah, I
click on
saw
this.
that.
There's the noise. There's it denoised.
Click
So
it
now,
back again. Let's see. Yeah.
so all the coloration noise in it. But the big thing to look at is so all that blue gets blued pretty well, but it's still keeping the detail of that cattail.
Wow.
And then you can adjust like how much you can go crazy hard. I'm not too sure. I think that sort of distorts some of the stuff. Everything I've done has usually been around that 50 mark. It's kind of been good enough.
Can you, this is a question you might not even know the answer to, but can you pick where it takes out the noise? Like, can you say leave the mid noise, remove the low noise and the high noise?
Not for this. This is pretty automated in
Okay.
this, but I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't coming. And hypothetically, if you opened it in Photoshop and went through the old noise processes and do stuff, you can get sort of selective about where it takes noise out. But I'm going to say this, like, I think this is doing a
That's
better job of
wild.
that. So I'm going to click enhance. It's going to actually do that. So I zoomed into the center of that frame before. Like, I mean, there's still noise, but you can tell already, like, all that coloration has changed and it's
Yeah.
quite a bit better. Actually, it's not even done denoising it yet. So give it a second. It's doing its thing. But it does, like I said, it's retaining that detail. It is taking out that noise. It is impressive. I did some photos at work. We were inside of
Oh
uh
my goodness. Did that just remove all the noise?
not all of it. Like I said, it is there a little
Eh,
bit. But the big thing for me is like that whole stock is still
yeah, it's
basically
still
in
sharp.
focus as much as I had it. For work, I did a bunch of photos um in this huge massive shop, right? So there's basically no light. We shot about a bunch of it. I'm running like super high ISO. I know it's going to be noisy. In my mind, I was like, none of these shots are going to be useful. Took them back, started using this. I think I ended up keeping like 40 photos out of it.
Wow. Can you go back to the original?
Yeah. So actually, let's do this. I'm going to zoom in on that spot again. This is the original. I'm going to zoom in on that spot. So that's the other thing too. It made a second uh, image down here. I don't know if you've seen that,
Yeah.
noticed it, but it
So I
does make
can't
like a second
actually see
copy
too
of it.
much of a difference now. Huh.
I can zoom in more.
Oh, there we go. So that's the noisy area. I see
So
that.
just to keep that like tree line so that you can see it.
Yeah.
But you got to think we're at 1,000% here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. We're,
So can you see like that sharpness
oh,
difference in that?
wow. Yeah. 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 That's crazy.
And even like some of the crazy, there's some like purpling in here that's just not
It's
doesn't
not even
really
there.
exist there.
That's crazy.
So that is currently built in to Photoshop. Now, Photoshop beta is where all the fun stuff happens. So I took just a random image, basically the only JPEG I had, but the generative stuff. So just for an example, what I'm going to do is click on the lasso. It really doesn't matter what it is. You can pick any sort of selection tool. Give it a bit of feather is what they're saying to do. And I'm just going to, whoops, put a
So,
spot right here. And in generative fill, I'm going to put in a fish
no.
jumping out of the water. And I'm going to click generate. And it's going to do its thing.
No.
And sometimes I've had some like things that were really weird. I was trying to put sweat on a face at work, the whole cinnamon story, and
Yeah.
like it really could not handle. That one's like a bit much.
They put like a clip art fish in the.
That is true. That one
Okay,
is
once
not
you spun
that
it around,
impressive.
it didn't look that bad when it was.
It's actually different options, right? It's a completely
Oh,
different fish.
see, this one actually looks like it fits the third one or the second one.
Right. Here's the thing, too. Like, hypothetically, with that water, let's say I threw that opacity down, it would almost look like the fish is under the water.
I have to admit, the second one looks pretty darn cool.
Yeah, right. Like, that's actually passable. And like, I don't
It
think
is.
people would tell whether that is real or not. The one issue I had with it, and we'll see if they end up correcting it, but it's not like real. I would like it to like, I don't know if it can regenerate itself or something. So if I move it off there, so do you see how it's like, it's keeping that frame and everything there.
Yeah.
So it's sort of built to that spot. But I wonder if I could just click generate again and if it will redo everything. I haven't actually tried this, so this will be a first for me.
Yeah, that first fish, totally laughable. This one.
Yeah, so it redid everything. So this is a completely new fish. This actually almost looks like a fish that could be here.
Oh, yeah.
That one looks funny.
There's some weird ones here. Because it's trying to mimic the sunset.
I think so, right? It's trying to match colors. But yeah, like here's the other thing. Like I know it doesn't really match, but like pixel peeping this, right? Where's the line?
Yeah, that's true.
How do you know that fish isn't part of it? And it's like it's disgustingly hard to figure out.
That's pretty cool.
So sort of the same thing. I'm going to change the spot again here. Let's say like this isn't good. Let's do a muskie. I feel like that might be more common.
Yeah, the clownfish off of Finding Nemo, not as likely.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, new spot, new generation. It's keeping all my variations up here.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it creates it in a new layer. Obviously, I'm moving stuff around. I wouldn't say that's jumping.
That looks pretty wild.
Yeah. And like, here's the other thing too. Like, maybe my problem is partly me.
Too big of a spot.
Let's change the dimension of it. And let's go musky jumping out of the water. Generate it.
Yeah, it's almost as if it's too big. If you made a smaller fish, it would scale a little bit better.
That's true too. So I'm hoping it follows this bend too, so we get like the fish sort of arcing like a shark. It did not like that at all. Oh, that's I think there's a fishing rod stuck to that one.
Caught by it.
That fish is having some issues.
Oh boy.
That's like a flying fish. Anyways, the point is if you do pick some like realistic ones, things can look pretty good. Again, let's just use another example. Let's go 1970s. This is actually the 80s. I think this is a picture of my cousin. All apologies to my cousin. Birthday cake.
Oh wow. This is going to be tricky though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it does.
Because the contrast.
Old birthday. Maybe I spelt it wrong too. That's entirely possible. I wasn't watching.
Yeah, I think you did birth to say.
So yeah. Anyways, this is generative AI. I think there's going to be a bright future in this. So again, using my work as an example.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, man. Like you put some filters on that and just make like some sepia tone.
Yeah, if you lower your contrast a little bit,
I think I could where photo filter. Geez, that might even just be right. Yeah, and lower the contrast or something on it, like you said. Contrast. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that's doing it globally though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Kind of this way.
Oh, because you weren't on the layer. Yeah.
There's got to be a way I can. Where's the whatever. Anyways, I don't want to take time. There's a way you can put it just on that layer,
Yeah.
and that's the thing though. Like that cake looks pretty close to matching in, and
That's
like even
pretty good.
and it's even matching the pattern
Because
of
it's
this
like this old crappy cake that you
floor.
would have expected to see too.
Yeah. So it's like slight adjustments on that coloring, and I don't think anybody would know the wiser.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. Going back to my work example, where I think this is going to be valuable and they're going to charge us more for this, but if they end up allowing me to sort of generate my own stockpile of AI, almost like customizing my AI, then I can take pictures of everybody I work with, load it into it, and then, just take a scenic shot of, a random construction site and like input Nick, and
Hmm.
Nick goes in there.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen some other stuff too. I don't know, maybe where they were like selecting. I haven't tried this. I just realized that poor dog. Holy smokes. I'm not going to name names of which cousin that is, but that is my cousin. And that poor dog.
Have you seen the selecting yourself on photos on the iPhone?
Like to make a sticker thing.
Yeah, like what do you do with those? Because I can take a picture of myself.
You can text them to people. That's weird.
So I text the picture of me,
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like valuable.
but what's that do?
It just sends a picture of just you without the
But
thing.
how do I do that? So I've got it myself selected and I'm carrying it all over the screen. But then what do I
Jeez,
do
Nick.
with it? I can't figure out how to text
I
this.
think it's funny that we're both on like different things. Are you seeing this right now?
No, sorry.
I want to move this thing. There we go. So look at his shirt. So I selected around his shirt
Okay.
and I said a white muscle shirt.
Yeah.
So it didn't quite give me a muscle shirt, but I mean,
Hold on. How does that look real?
this one's like, I don't know what that is. Something's not quite right, but like this shirt is spot on.
Which one was the real shirt?
None of these. That one.
Oh my goodness. So how crazy is the AI though? Can it sharpen that image or is it not at that point yet?
um, I do you know what? I've not seen that in Photoshop, but I've seen it in other programs. So give it time. If it's not in
Mhm.
Photoshop, if it's there, it might be there and I might just not know about it. I haven't seen it yet or something.
Because if you think about it, if you can recreate something from nothing or a shirt, I guess that the something's not coming from nothing. So to sharpen an existing image instead of just adding sunglasses could be more complex.
Yeah. Well, that shirt example, for an example, was kind of taking the pattern from the shirt that was there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna share my screen again quickly. We gotta try and wrap this up here, but um, so sunglasses, Nick. So sunglasses would probably go like this. So I'm trying to be careful about like the actual shape
Mm-hmm.
because I think that affects it. Sunglasses.
This is
Hopefully,
not going
hopefully
to
I
be
spelled that right.
possible. Although I didn't think the shirt was going to be possible. What if you could
And even
change the dog to a cat?
I don't know if you've noticed too, but that shirt's out of focus, just like the images.
It's so
Yeah,
nuts.
it's bonkers. Like it really is hard to believe what it's doing. And here's the other thing. This is,
Okay,
man,
those don't look half bad though,
it's missing an arm, but that's it.
but it's kind of there. I think I
Yeah.
can see it. Okay,
Yeah.
can we try changing that dog to a cat?
All right, let's do it. Fun with AI.
I just can't believe how. So you're taking an image, and this
Yeah.
is it seems like a trickier image because it's so soft and blurry and washed out.
Yeah, and
And
with the
you're,
pattern in the floor, that's kind of why I picked
yeah,
it
it's
as
got
well.
this weird pattern in the floor, and yet you can
Gonna just cheat
make it
this.
look realistic. Like I would have said that that was impossible to do. Like, oh, can you make him look like he's wearing a tuxedo? Yeah, they have to be wearing a tuxedo to look like
I
a
know.
tuxedo.
It's mind-boggling how this has come. Like I said, 5 years ago, rude comments. Today,
Yeah.
like this is changing the way I work. I'm gonna just for
Yeah, you think you got to
Nick,
keep
I'm
the
gonna
hands
take his.
in
Oh, it's gonna
to
be so
make it.
problematic though to take him
Is
out.
it going
It's
to
gonna
be
take.
problematic?
It's gonna take time. I just don't want to take time.
Okay.
Is there a type of cat you would want?
Uh, whichever cat. Uh,
Feel like a Siamese. I don't know how
that's
to
what I was
spell
thinking. Yeah, that's the
Siamese. How do you
problem.
spell it? Do you know how to spell it?
How do you spell Siamese cat?
Cal.
Of
How
course.
about calico? I can spell
Of
calico.
course I know how to spell Siamese cat. Just let me look it up real quick.
I think I spelled calico wrong too.
Oh,
Bragging. I can spell calico. And I spell it
I can
wrong.
spell it. Did your screen go gray or did I just mess something up here?
You
I
probably
probably
messed
messed
something
something.
up. Sounds like something you would do.
It does. Back to meeting. No, it's still gray.
Oh my goodness, Nick.
Oh no, I'm frozen. I can't see.
Oh no.
It's frozen. Did it look
Oh my
good or
God.
not?
Yeah,
I
there's a
can't see
couple of
it.
them.
Okay, there we go. What? Okay, here, show me again.
Oh man, are you seeing it?
I can now.
This is option 3 of 3, I guess. So the last one. But like kind of mangled his hand, but whatever. That's
Let's see the
hilarious.
first one. Okay. What's the
So like
previous one?
it's remaking some of his pants here and stuff too. Like it's
Wow. I that second one is kind of real, other than the messed up tail.
yeah. So
That's not
it's
how. Can you zoom out, or is this how the photo was? Yeah, zoom out and just cycle through these. Oh my goodness.
uh,
You should send this to your cousin and be like, "What was your cat's name?"
I think I should. It's too funny. The sunglasses and everything.
Yeah, with the birthday cake. Just be like, "Geez, I can't remember that cat's name."
Oh man. Yeah. Anyways, Nick, that is AI. What do you haven't seen this before? What's going through your mind?
That is crazy.
It is.
Crazy.
It's and like I was saying before, this has already changed the way I work. It's changed some of the things I will do. I've gotten other ideas in my head of how I can actually utilize this, which again, 5 years ago would not have said it. And I can't I'm so far gone now. I'm like 5 years from now. I don't even know what to expect. Like I don't even know if my work needs me anymore. They're just gonna type in a thing and AI is gonna create it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I'm still the person typing in the thing.
Yeah, yeah. You want to be the typer inner person? What do you do? I type in things. Tell
Yeah.
AI what to do.
Yeah. But yeah, it is impressive. And like I said, Adobe is not the only one. There is a pile of other software out there doing these sort of things. And after seeing this, I'm pretty sure they're all equally as impressive. You talked about sharpening. I can't remember which one I seen do that, but there is one that does it for sure. And it also looks impressive. Now, sometimes I feel like this camera shoots too sharp. So I'm not that concerned about sharpening, but
Hmm.
this is something. So
That's wild.
before we wrap up, You asked me a question through a text, me and Ryan, a question. You said convince you not to invest in AI.
Oh yeah.
You're investing in AI.
Well, nothing big. No. I'm just the answer's kind of no, but it's kind of yes.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. You're investing your fun money. That
Yeah.
counts. After seeing this, you think you could be convinced not to invest in AI?
I don't know why you wouldn't, really, after watching that. Seems crazy.
It really does. And yeah, there's a pile. I gave you a pile of reasons why not to. But yeah, it's really hard to ignore at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyways, Nick, I think that's it. I think that's a good enough AI talk. Do you know what? If other people have questions, let me know. I actually took part in an AI challenge that's going to wrap up tomorrow. It's, I guess, not tomorrow whenever this gets out, but it'll be done by then. I've done some deep dives in it. So if anybody wants to ask, just ask us. I might know a little bit about it. And yeah, go from there. It's new, it's fresh, it's fun.
Sounds good.
Yeah. With that, any parting words, Nick? Words of wisdom?
Send me your files when you're done, Emery.
We'll let her be at that. Yeah, Nick's got to edit all these. I get the week off because
Oh
I'm going
boy.
fishing.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day.
Right on. Have a good night.
No, take your time. We will wait for you, Nick.